Hello, Medfield. Welcome to the newest edition of Happenings at the Center. With me is somebody I'm sure you recognize, Roberta, who leads the parade there. And the center, of course, is run by the Council on Aging, and Roberta is the director. So she'll fill us in on the latest things that are happening at the center.
Thank you, Ann. What a nice introduction. Lead the parade. I think it's a group effort that leads that parade, though.
There's no question about it.
Yeah. But so let's touch base on the Fosse Challenge. We had a couple months ago, we had Bob Heald here, who sat in between us, and when Fosse was first, generating interest and going to take this on, and as of today, which is the 21st of November, we're just a few short dollars from reaching that $40,000 number. So it was a big undertaking for Fosse, and they've done just a marvelous job. And just talked with Bob Heald this morning, who is involved with Fosse, also chairman of the Council on Aging, and just he's in awe of what's happened down at the center and the amount of support that has come in to help them with the challenge. It's wonderful.
And what will the money be used for?
So, that is obviously to be decided. I mean, the first point of it all is when somebody offers you $50,000 and puts a challenge in front of you, you're not going to say, no, thank you, we're not interested. So Fosse took the challenge on, and it's the biggest project they've ever worked on before, and it's going to be very successful. So most people know that last year we had an article on town meeting to begin the process to add on to the building. We often find that during the course of the day there are no rooms, and on a few Thursdays now, your bridge club you have to wait for a program to end, so things are getting tighter there, and our club program, which will be 5 years, March 20th of 2017, is as large as it can be. It can't grow anymore. We can't help more families in town because we're at full capacity, because we have no space.
Well, for those at home, tell them what the club program is.
So the club program, the official name of it is the Adult Respite Care Program, and it started March 20th, 2012 with a grant from the Metro West Health Foundation. It is a program that provides, I'm going to say, supervised companionship for a loved one who can't stay home alone, who needs to be with people, needs some structured activities, and we have dedicated staff that are there for the program, and so the caregiver can go off and do what they need to do. They can do whatever they want to do, and they have 5.5 hours during the course of a day to just sit and read a book all by themselves. So it's a great program for respite, giving people relief from their caregiving responsibilities.
Absolutely.
It's really wonderful, and I have a list of all the clients that have participated in the program, and I have it in here. We have, I'm going to say 46, but I think it might be 47. We've, hold on a second, 47. We have had 47 total folks enrolled in the program over the last 5 years.
Wow.
We currently have 15. We actually just lost a client that moved on in another direction, but we have had most recently 11 Medfield and 4 out of town. So it's a really good program.
It really is.
I love it. I mean, it's so great to see the caregiver come in and developing friendships with other caregivers, and you'll see them go off and have coffee together, on their alone time when their loved one's at the program. So, and the thing about I could talk about this forever, but the thing about having a program right at the senior center, it's very comfortable. It's comfortable for the caregiver to drop their loved one off there. It's comfortable for the participant because they're at the senior center. What could be better than going to the senior center? So it's a really good program. So that's one of the things that we need to look at, is how can we help more people in town, because people are growing, living longer, and when as you age, sometimes you need some support services. doesn't mean just because you're older you have to go off to a nursing home. Not at all. It means you just need some support services to keep you in your home, and this is one way we help to keep people in their homes. So we want to look at the potential for more space. We know last year we were told that it wasn't our turn for more space, and we appreciate that, but the reality is the age population that utilizes the senior center is growing. So there'll be more programs. We'll put in more programs if there's more people, more ideas, and that may mean that we do need more space. So that's one of the things we're looking at. And the other thing is just to bring in more programs. Instructors and both exercise and educational instructors, professors, they don't come in for nothing. They don't come in because they want to volunteer their time. They come in because this is a job for them. So you also have to pay them. But when you're talking about people on fixed incomes, they can't always afford some of the programs that would cover the cost of these instructors. So a lot is subsidized, and so some of that money will be used to subsidize some of the programs to get more people into the door to participate. So a lot of different thoughts going around in conversation about what's best for the center, what's best for the participants. Also, new ideas attract new people. And I was thrilled because at our last supper club, we had 3 new couples that had never been to a supper club before. So that was really good for us, just to get some younger, the 60-year-old seniors to come in and see what we're all about. And then, once you get your foot in the door, I think it's, when you started coming in, and we see you almost, 4 days a week, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, something like that.
When I retired at 75, I was so glad to have it.
Yeah, exactly. So anyhow, so we're in the process of thinking about how we can best use the money that was donated and raised. So that's to be decided.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And on that note, I just want to say we have, Fosse has one last event, and that is December 1st, and we're doing a paint night. Which is one of those fun, socialize and paint and maybe an adult beverage or something like that. So that's December 1st. We have a few tickets left for that if anybody's interested. It's a Thursday evening from 7 to 9. Barbara Mulford is the art instructor who'll be coming in to lead the evening. And we're doing a beautiful lighthouse, ocean kind of seashore scene. So it'll be very nice. Yeah, it'll be fun. Now, we have coming up on Sunday, December 11th, and you probably know this, being a Lions member, we have our annual Christmas party at the American Legion Hall.
And I'll be working at that Christmas party.
You'll be working it, I know that. So that starts, it says 12 noon in the brochure, but we know that everybody gets there about 11:15, 11:30. And that's always a fun time. Basil is catering the meal, which is every year has been delicious.
Absolutely.
I saw Mr. Shackley at the Veterans Breakfast, and he always donates for the wine. And we have the singing troopers coming in.
And he's so good
for his holiday show, so that'll be wonderful. So that's a fun day. And I've already printed off the pictures from last year's. You may have noticed that I go around and I hand out pictures every year, and those are from the previous Christmas party. So I have them all printed off to hand out again and take more pictures this year. Yeah, so it's a very great day.
It is a great time.
Yeah.
People love it.
Yeah, so that's really the big party, that a lot of people attend. And then the other thing we're doing for New Year's Eve, which is on a Saturday this year, I have scheduled a trip into Boston to cruise the Boston Harbor for lunch on the Odyssey. So we will ring in like we did last year, New Year's at noon. And that was
just a little early.
A little early, but it's 12. So it's great. So
how much does that cost?
That's $89, and that's your transportation and your lunch and the lovely ship. The Odyssey is really beautiful. So we leave at 9:30 on Saturday, December 31st, and we get back about 4:30.
Okay.
It's a fun day. Yeah, it's good. So those are the few big things happening in December. I can't believe November is
I know.
almost over. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody if this gets on before Thanksgiving. We do have all our exercise programs the month of December will be running except for the time between Christmas and New Year's. That week, we have canceled exercise. We found in years past that it's spotty attendance, so we give our instructors a break and give people also a break, and then they can get right back to it after New Year's and start January 2017 with a bang.
But the center will still be open for people to drop in?
We're still open, yep. We're just not going to have the exercise. It's not well attended on those days, so it's better for everyone. But we have a breakfast. We have a holiday breakfast. Not really sure. I think the chefs want to do some type of omelet on December 15th. And as we were talking about it on our way over, I have the superintendent of schools will come in and speak to the people, be our guest speaker at breakfast on December 15th. So definitely sign up. Breakfast is on the house because it's we've been doing the complimentary breakfast just to say thank you to everyone who's participated in the challenge and supports the COA and FOSSI. So, oh, there's that.
That's a Thursday, I understand.
That's a Thursday, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. What else do we have going on?
I don't know.
Bill is going to take the Romeos on December 9th to the Patriot Hall of Fame, which will be fun.
I've been there.
Yeah, it's a great place. They've had a great season and it's not over, so that'll be good to go check that out. So they're leaving about 10:30 on December 9th. And
for years, my husband and I belonged to a couples group. It was a mystery group, and every other month, some of the couples had to get together and choose a mystery destination. And the destination one year was exactly that, at the Patriots Place.
Mm-hmm.
And I had never even heard of the Hall of Fame. I was very surprised.
Right.
And I don't like football, but I even enjoy going there.
Yeah.
They had all kinds of memorabilia there.
Yeah. Well, those museums like that are they're nice. Which I want to say that we had on November 12th, we had a trip to New York City for the 9/11 Museum and the memorials. And that was, we had 43 people go, 30 from Medfield and 13 from Millis. And that was really a very moving, great trip. And I will definitely plan that again because it's just worth seeing once, I think, is enough.
I've been to the site, but I wouldn't go in the museum.
Yeah, it was pretty.
We went when we were in Europe. We went near the Holocaust, but I would never go in the Holocaust Museum either. I just can't handle it. So it's not for some people. Exactly. But we walked around the outside of the 9/11 site. That was fine. Yeah,
the water pools. Oh, they're beautiful, really gorgeous. Yeah, so.
That's a good trip. A friend of mine, Joan, went, and she said the best trip she ever had.
Yes, yep.
She really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Yeah. So we also have a few support groups that run monthly. The Low Vision group, which meets on the second Tuesday of the month, and they just met last week, and that's really a great group. A lot of people exchange ideas about what helps them and good tips for when your vision is decreasing. So that's a really great group, and it's open to anyone. If you've just received a new diagnosis, or you feel like something's changing and you just need to talk about it to somebody, that support group is wonderful. And that's the second Tuesday at 10. The other one we have is it doesn't meet monthly, it's every few months. It's the Low Hearing support group that Susan runs, who has her master's in audiology. So she's really a great one to run this group because that's her background in her past life. And Tina Roberts will be there from Speech Language Associates in Medfield to speak with people about hearing loss and just answer any questions and concerns folks may have. And that one is going to be, I know I have it in my head, December 8th, Thursday, December 8th, and that's going to be at 10 o'clock. And then we have our caregiver support group, which meets on the last Thursday of the month at 10 o'clock. And what we're finding is a lot of the folks who participate at the club, their caregiver attends this caregiver group.
I would think so.
So that's also open to anybody in the community. If you feel as though you're now becoming a caregiver, because it sort of happens very slowly, you know, you do a little, then you're doing a little more, and all of a sudden you feel overwhelmed. Definitely, just come right in the last Thursday of the month at 10 o'clock. It's a very welcoming group, and everybody's at a different stage, I guess I want to say, of caregiving. So we have the just beginners, you know, just getting their feet wet with really the responsibility of caregiving, and then people who have been doing it for years. So there's a lot of information and a lot of experience that can help folks out. So that's wonderful. And then we have, you know, if you get the newsletter, which we mail out about 550,
wow.
Which is a lot. And those are people who actually want the newsletter. You know, I remember years ago when I started a newsletter, we had to fold, we'd sit in that FAF Center room, the seniors room, we'd like fold 1,200 of them and mail them out to, you know, so many people. And I remember saying, well, this is crazy because we're mailing all these out, and you know, there aren't a lot of people coming in. So I think people, you know, sometimes you get those flyers and you just toss them. Oh. So anyhow, now it's if you want it to your house, you pay $5 a year. And then there's a little commitment. So so we're up to 550. That's a good amount, and have a pretty good following. I can't seem to get it online on the website, so that's a problem for me. And I'm always looking for somebody who might want to come in and volunteer to help me get it up online. So nobody's knocking my door down to do that.
Maybe somebody will hear you.
Somebody hear me
hey out there.
Yeah, no, that'd be wonderful. But yeah, the whole social media is important in terms of marketing things. But it's a lot to keep up with it all. You know, keep up with your web page and keep up with your little Facebook page. It's a lot of work too, so I'm looking for a volunteer that might want to do that also.
I'm sure there's somebody out there that could do it.
There's got to be somebody out there, you know, which would be great. How have you seen the center? I'm going to pull it back over to you now.
How have I seen the center?
How have you seen it? Is it busier than you remember, or?
It depends on the day. Mondays are very quiet.
Mondays are quiet. Monday afternoons are quiet.
It seems extremely quiet. It varies from day to day what's going on, and also the time of the year too.
Right.
And I had one question. Is there any provision made at the center for people at the holiday time who are alone? I'm lucky. I live alone, but I have 3 children in Medfield.
Sure.
And I'm lucky that way. Some people I know are not that fortunate. Is there any provision made for people like that?
So we do encourage people, you know, that we know who are alone to kind of maybe buddy up with a neighbor or you know, that sort of thing. But we do work with the home committee and for meals to be delivered to people that are home alone. I work with also around the Christmas time with different activities that the home committee does, identifying people who could use a cheer up flower or so there are some provisions made.
I'm talking more social interaction, not flowers or food.
Yeah, no, I know
some
what
way
you
to get
mean.
people to. If somebody lives alone, is there any way to get him or her invited to the Joneses' house, or the Smith's house, or vice versa?
That's an interesting thought, and I would say at this point, that particular like hands-on, no, but it is something to think about for future. I know in the past, some of the staff has welcomed those who are going to be alone into their homes for a holiday, you know, for Thanksgiving or Christmas. So we have done that, the staff. But in terms of a program like that, that may be something to think about for,
I think it'd be great.
for next year. Yeah.
Why
didn't you suggest that sooner?
Well, I just started thinking about it because we always have different people that come to our parties, our Thanksgiving,
Sure.
Christmas, etc. Somebody that is alone.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily have to be an older person. A
No,
friend of my
no,
son-in-law's
of
has been
course.
coming for
Yeah.
years. So it doesn't matter with that. It's just somebody that doesn't have a family around to socialize with, or
Right.
friends that care.
Right.
And I think it's wonderful at a holiday time not to be alone, but
Well,
to have people to sit and talk with.
Yes, no, I agree. And that's one of the reasons also that we try to encourage people to come to the center. You know, we say that we were saying how it slows down a little bit around this time, but we're still going to have our December birthday party and still have all of our activities except for that week of exercise, hopefully, and our support groups, getting people out of the house so that they're not so isolated. But in terms of the actual holiday, like I said, sometimes we've taken, you know, we know that somebody's going to be alone, staff will invite them, but that might be something to work on for the future, definitely.
I think it'd be a nice thing,
Yeah.
because there's a surprising number of people I know who live alone,
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
and it's, I'm sure, going to grow
Yep.
as our
for
town
sure.
is aging. Yep.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good one, though. And so I throw that out to people who might be listening. If you have a neighbor, you know somebody in the community that is alone, as we sit here now on November 21st, 21st? Yes. Why not extend an invitation to that neighbor who might be alone and have them come over, maybe for dinner, supper, or maybe for dessert,
dessert
just to
and
get
coffee.
them out of the house. I mean, we could throw that out to the community to do that, which would be wonderful.
I think it's a wonderful thing if people would do it.
Yeah, I mean, very much like, you know, you think about when we get hit with a bad snowstorm, you always see the neighbor going over to the seniors' home, along with our snow shoveling program, but going over to check
Absolutely.
in and see how they are. I mean, I think that's one thing that's so great about Medfield, and I think most communities, but Medfield for sure, is that neighbors care about one another, and you know, they check in on each other. So I think we could throw that out to the community and maybe even make that a community project. And then we have the great organizations in town, the Neighbor Brigade, and,
They're
and
a wonderful group.
and the Angels. I mean, I don't know if they're one and the same now, but I mean, there are great groups out there, great organizations in town.
I've had the Neighborhood Brigade on this show, and I think it's a wonderful project. I
Yeah,
really do.
yeah, absolutely. So I think there's a lot out there for that, what you mentioned, and I think that within our senior community at the center, that, you know, that is something that we can look at and take that on as a future project and do some matchmaking with people and
I
getting
think
them
it'd be
together.
good. I really do.
I think it would be good too. So
Sometimes people just need a little nudge.
yeah, exactly.
And if you call Mr. Jones and say, you know, we have an extra seat for dinner,
Right.
Thanksgiving, and any interest in joining us?
Yeah.
That kind of thing, I think
Yeah.
would work well.
Yeah, be nice. Yeah, so lots going on at the center in December, and we look forward to a very active and busy 2017. Doesn't that sound weird to say, 2017?
No. And I expect to be there next year.
Of course you will be here next year, me too, right? One day at a time, though, that's what I say.
Absolutely.
You know, it's great. But, so, you know, I say stop in and see what's going on at the center, and if you see something you like, to sign up and just start getting involved. It's a great place to be. I think so.
I agree with you,
Yeah,
which is why I'm there quite often.
Yeah,
Never
that's
thought I
great.
would be, but I'm there all the time, as you know.
yeah, yeah, it's
Okay,
great.
well,
All
thank you,
right.
Roberta. Thank you, people, for watching Happenings at the Center. And I hope you listened to everything Roberta said. And if you know any people that could use a little home or dinner or whatever on the holiday time or any time, please just make the phone call and ask them. It's such an important thing to do, really is. And when I moved here and was alone, my husband was traveling around the country, and I was here with kids and didn't know anybody. I was so appreciative of people that made that offer. So I'm hoping we can all do the same for the rest of our lives. So thank you for watching Medfield TV.